Taking the Husky out for a drive today, the FE 350S. Just feel the need for some horsepower and agility, and so I don't know that I'm going to do a bunch of technical trails, but it just, sometimes you just need something that performs really razor's edge of performance, so I just am getting on the bike. I'll ride for a while. Anyway, so let's go for a ride. And it started right up. It's cold today, 46 degrees and rainy, so it is what it is. I'm wearing my Alpenstar jacket here. Andy's Tour 2, I guess. I'm sure there's a more recent model, but this jacket's good when it's cold. It has some climb stuff, but when it's cold, I don't know. This thing works well. Clutch is a little jumpy. Poor bike needs to be ridden. Hey, holy cow, it's pouring. I don't know. I may not change this ECU on this thing. I mean, it runs so good. Man, I hate to mess with something when it's running this good. I guess it's more just curiosity. This downhill here, so I'll be off throttle, but man, this bike runs good. I don't know that I'm going to change anything. I mean, if it weren't running so good, I'd be tempted, but it runs good. I tell you, this bike is addictive. All this power. I just came up this hill, and I mean, so this is a pretty good uphill. I don't know if this shows up on video, probably not, but I mean, I just gonna let off for the corner a little bit. The bike is nice and warm now. A little uphill. I mean, this thing just hanging the back end out. Gotta love the power. Bit of a blind top to this hill. But man, this power is so addictive on these KTM and Husky bikes. I mean, my goodness, it's just ridiculous. The power to weight ratio, the responsiveness. I mean, I love it. I won't deny it though. I'm curious to try the Honda 450 RL. I love my 300 on the pavement here. These leaves are pretty slimy today. I'm on top of wet pavement, but I'm kind of curious to try it. I don't have any immediate plans to get one because I'm not going to get rid of my Husky 350 or the Honda 300L. The KTM 300 is still my go-to on the trail, nasty technical bike, but this Husky, if you need to get there, will be plated. Wish this Husky had Brembo brakes, because I could switch them, but I don't really want to do that. Yeah, it is pouring today. I know you guys understand. I just had to get out and ride. I know you've all been there where you're sitting around the house, it's raining. I kind of kept waiting for a break in the rain, and finally it was like, I don't care. I'm gonna gear up. I'm going. I can ride for an hour or so, get wet. I won't melt. And so that's what I'm doing. Just getting a quick little rip in the rain here. And the Husky's the bike to take too, because it just loves the rain. Oh, look at this. We got some bunch of deer action here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. Let them do what they're gonna do. Okay, good. They probably don't think motorcycles should be out in the rain like this. And I got my golden tires from running today. They're hooking up good on this gravel, wet gravel, and leaves, potholes. Yeah. So, liking those. Man, I know it's wet because I'm watching my engine temperature and it's hardly warming up. Around about 106 to 120 degrees, 110 degrees. Just doing some gravel roads here, and even gravel roads are fun when you just want to ride. I always wish this bike had a little higher last gear. Little washboard, but Husky always has soaked that up, no problem. And it is wet, wet, wet. I have a pin lock, but I know it's bad when even using a pin lock, my visor fogs up. That's when you know there's some high humidity. And you kind of got to be able to see when you're riding. That's where I start to draw the line a little bit. I got the visor with the vents at the top. They're open. I have the bottom of the face shield cracked and I'm still fogging up. Man, this bike is like a sports car. Just a sports car of the dirt and gravel. It just handles so good. Love rev matching it, flipping the throttle, and of course any debris on the road can be slick. Leaves, even the painted, like these stripes here, those can be slick. First rain of the season can be slick from rain, oil and thing that's in the middle of the highway can become slick. So I'm always just a little more careful when I'm riding on in the rain on pavement. We know that wet roots and rocks and all that are slip, but like here's some decomposing leaves. I'm not going to lean my bike in like I'm on a supermoto track here. I'm going to keep it up fairly straight. I'll lean it in a little, but I'm not going to put a lot of G-forces through the tires. Wet leaves can be every bit as slick as, if not more slick than gravel on the highway. So I know you guys are aware of that, but just a friendly reminder. So railroad crossing, where it's painted, where crosswalks are, where it's painted, that paint can be very slick. Manhole covers, all those things can be slick. I think they've improved the paint over the years. It doesn't seem to be as slick as it used to be. I mean, it used to be slick, but it's not as bad. Leaves on top of gravel are better than leaves on top of pavement. So here I am. Oh, it's raining hard. Back on gravel off the pavement. Yeah, I'm a lot more comfortable on wet gravel than I am pavement. But yeah, that wet pavement can be so slippery. So just something to be aware of. And your tires make a difference. I mean, I feel like these golden tires do pretty good when it's wet. But I have had other tires where they're a harder rubber compound. And you guys can chime in which ones those are, which ones you've had experiences with. But sometimes just the nature of the rubber compound can be very slick on wet pavement for dual sport tires because they're a harder rubber. So that's something to be aware of. But on gravel, pretty good grip overall. I don't want to come blasting through here and make people angry at me. There's no need in doing that. Once I get by the houses, though. Oh boy. Oh. Talking about slick. Came into that corner a little hot. Yeah, it's so wet now. I can't hardly see. I flipped my visor up. and then rain's pelting me in the face. Sometimes I'll bring along goggles, but I didn't today because I just want to do a short ride. But bringing along goggles or something can be a good idea. I've got my little face mask that flips up and down today, face shield, but it's fogged over. I think I need to renew my pin lock. Doesn't seem to do that well in the rain anymore. But some days it doesn't matter what you do, you just gotta stop, wipe off your visor because it's that wet. And today is one of those days. But just, yeah, be aware of when you're riding in the wet. Just something to be aware of. That's something I wanted to talk about. We all want to be as safe as we can out there. Oh man, nice day to ride, even though it's wet, still fun. Just probably can't ride as long today, or won't, because it just gets a little bit wet. But still lots of fun. Oh, gotta love that. 350's running real good. Running excellent. That's why, I don't know, part of me's like, hey, if a bike's running good, don't mess with it. But I guess I just wanted to try one of those fuel controllers for the sake of trying it. If I had just another gear right now, I'd take it. And I have a Scott steering stabilizer, and it is so stable on this gravel. Really feels good. I'm just skipping along here, 60-ish, and I don't even know I'm on loose gravel. Yeah, this will do it. This will get that motorcycle fix out today. It's still pouring down rain, and that's okay. Here comes the truck. One thing about it though is this time of year that would normally make a bunch of dust. No dust to worry about today. Yeah. No traction control on this bike. Not that traction control's a bad thing. This is the best part about a dual sport. Zipping along our gravel road, hitting potholes. Love it. And doesn't matter if it's wet. We're still having fun. Little pavement, not tipping the bike in hard on that loop, and then back to gravel. Staying to the outside here in case you meet someone. Kind of narrow through here anyway. It's amazing how quick these potholes appear in this rain. Oh man, love it. A little bit of a blind top here, but on. Okay. Addictive about riding a bike with some horsepower, with some high horsepower to weight rate, with a high horsepower to weight ratio. It just, oh man, it just is good. Get a little power wheelie there, leave a rooster gravel. I mean, it just, I don't know, it's just fun. It feels good. That's the good part about a dual sport. Even on a wet, rainy day, you can get out for a quick rip. And then you always, you guys know the smell of the water on the header, wet header, as it's cooking off. I kind of got that smell right now. It smells kind of good. It's a bit wet out here. It's still raining. Not quite as much fun to ride a bike in the rain, but you know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Yeah, but still fun. Again, hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for watching. Appreciate ya. And I'll try to have some other content coming here and there. Let me know what you think. Is a 450L worth adding to the fleet? Is it worth trying to get ECU on here, Athena? I guess the main reason would be when I'm on and off throttle, I notice that this bike gets a little, the transition isn't smooth. But honestly, most of the time when I'm riding it, I'm riding it pretty hard, so I don't think about it. But I have noticed it in some technical things, just getting on and off the throttle. But anyway, I don't know. Still debating. Tell me what you think. Feel free to chime in. Oh, this bike may not get the full soap down today, but it's getting a rinse off anyway. It was clean before I took it out, but it'll be taken out again today, later on. So sometimes you just have to get it. It'll get fueled. It'll get a quick once over. It'll get a chain lube, and we'll get blowed off with a, get the water blowed off with a leaf blower, and then I'll park it. So some days, this time of year, I don't get it quite as meticulous, because then if I get them too clean, then I don't want to ride them again. So I get it reasonably clean, make sure it's maintained. But in the winter, the only way to keep them completely clean is if you don't ride them. I just like to I have this DeWalt leaf blower. It's just a 40, what is it? 6 amp, 40 volt. I mean, you get pretty much anything. And I just like to blow it off. It just makes it so that there isn't water sitting around on this thing for the next few days. It just speeds up that evaporative process. I blow out the radiator, blow off the mirrors. It's my lazy way to work on the bike. And again, this is not a full show you how to wash your bike video. This is just a few things you can do. If I was going to do a full detailed job, I would have, got out a bucket of soap and water and washed off. This is just to spray off the big stuff. Hit it with a leaf blower. I'll hit the chain with some WD-40 so it doesn't rust. Maybe follow it up with some lube of some kind, and then refuel it, park it, and then next time I'm ready to ride. But as far as doing a quick full detail today, it just doesn't need to happen. And I'm blowing the air off the water off the chain with air. And this way it just doesn't have water sitting on it for the next, however many days it would take for this to evaporate in a cold shop. So yeah, I'll just spend a little time with this, just a couple minutes, and then wipe the chain off and call it a day. So here's where after a ride, you get some Costco shop towels, put it behind your chain. And I'll usually do it with 2 hands, but I'll do it with 1 right now. And I hold one hand, hold the rag behind the chain, and then I'll spray some WD-40 on there. And then I'll wipe back and forth, and it's kind of a makeshift chain cleaning, but it's also displacing water, because WD-40 is water displacement 40th try, literally. And I'll go around the whole chain, I'll rotate the chain, and I got this on a little small stand, but you could do this just by rolling the bike forward and backwards without a stand. And then when you're done, if you want to apply your favorite lube, go ahead. There's an O-ring chain, so the big thing's keeping it clean, but sometimes I'll follow up with a little KTM off-road lube or some other clean lubricant. So, and then, while I'm, spraying the bike off, I check the oil is up, everything looks good. Don't see any broken spokes, so you just give your bike a quick once over, and then you're ready to ride next time you want to ride, and refuel too. So there you have it. Hey, I'm thankful for all of you. Hope you're all doing well.
And yeah, it's Thanksgiving season, you know, but we can be thankful all year long for many things. All right, and we can be thankful for motorcycles too, and for our riding buddies. So anyway, appreciate y'all. Have a great rest of your day and week. And look at how clean that's getting. I only went around this a couple times with by rotating the rag. I think I swapped them out once and then hit it with the WD another time or two, and it's nice and clean. And I didn't have to take a brush to it. So if you hit your chain now and then just with a rag and some WD-40, I mean, it's amazing how clean you can keep your drivetrain. You're not even really putting much work in. So just something to think about.